The Benjamin Franklin closing technique seems to be as old as the name makes it sound, and it's still widely used in the decision-making process by many individuals to this day. Benjamin Franklin is famous for being a United States president. However, beyond that, he helped teach the American masses about money management. He also had a few inventions under his belt, and he was also an entrepreneur who started America's first fire company and first fire insurance company. And through all this, as a politician, but also in his personal life, he identified himself as a salesperson, continuing even to this day, of course indirectly, to influence the selling minds with his ideas. The Benjamin Franklin closing technique is a classical way of closing, used generation after generation by salespeople who found themselves in the position of facing a very undecisive client. And no matter how big their efforts would be, they were unable to lead to closing in any other way, so they had to use this. Back in the day, in this situation, the seller would literally say, Ben Franklin is known as one of the wisest men in America, wouldn't you agree? When faced with a difficult decision, and he was the US president, so he had numerous big decisions in front of him daily, he would take a plain piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, listing all the positive reasons and the negative reasons for that decision. In his wiseness, Ben Franklin knew that by listing all of the positive elements on one side and the negative elements on the other side, his decision would become so much clearer because it's right there in front of them on the paper. Wouldn't you agree? In this situation, the seller would literally take a piece of paper and draw a line down the center, making those two columns, one for pro, one for cons, to make the purchase. And on the column, on the column with pros, they will encourage the client, the prospect, to remember from their conversation and to dictate him all the positive aspects, recalling all the good things that were mentioned about buying that product. Then they would say, okay, let's list now the negatives. And instead of them writing them down, they would hand the pen and the paper to the prospect without saying a word. So the salesperson was counting on the fact that after listening to all positive reasons and benefits for buying the product, usually the prospect would only think of a couple of negative reasons, usually having to do with price or affordability. And in that case, they would either try to manipulate the potential client into buying by just literally counting the number of reasons in both columns, or they would really upset the buyer, who would walk away and never look back. That is not to say that the balance sheet, called the same as the Ben Franklin technique, it's the balance sheet because you put everything in balance, cannot still be used and be a powerful tool when it's formulated and strategized in a more modern, intelligent way that's not going to insult anybody. First, you can use the balance sheet technique in order to prepare yourself for the sales presentation by simply taking a piece of paper, creating that document on the computer if you want, with two columns, pros and cons. In the preparation stage of the positive side, you can list the prospect's needs and wants and the questions that you will ask them. The benefits of the purchase of those products you have to sell, and a couple of personal points that you have in common to discuss, as long as you can list what you believe it makes them buy. On the other column, you can make a list of the reasons why you think they will not buy, together with your responses to those possible objections. This way, now you are prepared for a prospecting interaction. A good way would be to do a general balance sheet with pros and cons for each particular package or product that you have to offer, to create a template and then to personalize it for each client. Second, you can use this technique to get your prospective client off the fence. Because, as we've said before, the worst thing in sales, it's not necessarily hearing no, but it's hearing I don't know, having that client that's undecisive. And in that case, you want to find out the objections and what holds them back, so you can respond to those objections and turn them into a closed sale. So the same, just like in the traditional Benjamin Franklin technique, you take a piece of paper, you split it in two, and then you list the pros. You can ask them to list the cons. Normally, psychologically, when somebody is listing the pros first and you reread them to them, it kind of gets imprinted in their brain. And then for the cons, it's a little harder for them to come up with those as easy as they come up with the pros. So it's something that you can show them, use it as a visual if you want. So here's how it can go. From our conversation so far, you've said that the treadmill will help you save time on your workout routine. You also said that it's convenient because it's at home. It also saves you money on gym membership. And you mentioned that by using this machine at home, you can be closer to the family, and that you like investing in a warranty cover, long-lasting piece of equipment. Also, we talked about the size and the color of the machine fitting very well with your workout room decor, as well as the fact that you love having a Bluetooth connection available on the treadmill to listen to your music, and you also love the HD screen that comes with it, so you can watch your favorite shows while you're working out. So you list those benefits, right? And you can continue. At the same time, you also like the fact that it can be delivered within a week, and we found a day that matches your schedule best. All the benefits. Am I missing something? You can go ahead and ask. Or you can ask, can you think of anything else? In response, the potential client will eventually say, no, I think that's all. At which point, you read that list again with the pro reasons. Once this is done, you can say, okay, now please fill out the other side, or we can fill out it together, however you want. If you ask them to fill it out themselves, that's the specific traditional strategy in which you, as a salesperson, would not write down the negatives like you did with the positive reasons, but instead you will ask them to do it, because you want to let the prospect feel free to list all the objections and negative reasons for making that purchase. And this way, you finally get to the point of the objections. And once you have an objection, now you can turn it around and find a way to sell that product. This is the strategic difference between the classical Benjamin Franklin close and the modern balance sheet close turned Benjamin Franklin in the modern way, with the main purpose being to switch the prospect from I don't know to the point where they reveal the true reasons that hold them back. Once you have the clarity of those true objections, now you can decide in which direction you want to go in order to close the sale. So you can see that the purpose for the way we use the balance sheet or the Benjamin Franklin technique in the modern way, it's different. There are two purposes, either for preparing, you put the pros versus the cons in the preparation stages, or for closing the sale, but that's not necessarily to close, and definitely is not to manipulate them into, or to force them into buying, because there are less negative reasons, less reasons to buy than reasons, less reasons to not buy than reasons to buy. So we're not using it that way it's outdated. That way it's going to make your clients run away from you like there's no tomorrow. People these days do not put up with that anymore. But you are using it just to get them off the fence, and just when you have those undecisive clients. But you are doing it specifically with the purpose to discover their true objections. Not to force them into a sale, not to manipulate them into anything, but just to discover those objections. And once you discover them, now you can address them. I hope that makes sense, okay? So I'll see you in the next lecture.